let's just warm up before we start the show. Today in the news, Intel absolutely needs to chill with the teasers, and AMD's 6500 XT was leaked. What's up guys, I'm Snows, and this is your boot sequence. Let's get started with Intel, and honestly, I'm a little mad, a little zhuzhed, a little tired of this company. I know that the last video was pretty positive about Intel's upcoming offerings. They're not the best of the best in any way, but their Rocket Lake S family does seem like it could be great value compared to AMD products. But that's not what tickles me angry. What does is XE and its endless teasers. I mean, it all started, what, 2.5 years ago? I mean, we got the shadowy figure, then the 2035 mockups, then the radio silence on discrete desktop GPUs until the DG1 surfaced, which A, was for developers only, and B, basically a mobile chip on a card for OEMs. And then, well, you see what I mean, right? My personal main issue is that the first teaser from the start was aimed at gamers, and ever since then, it's been mobile LP chips and glued together monsters with tile systems and HBM memory on HPC. And now, the company had their big GDC 2021 presentation yesterday, and can you guess? Did we get any extra information on DG2, or whatever it will be called? Of course not. We got another teaser. The Intel Graphics Twitter account posted this yesterday. It's just an XE LP chip getting melted or something and being replaced by XE HPG. Now, I don't want to read too much into this, but me and a fellow tech tuber were talking a few days ago about all the leaks surrounding an XE gaming GPU that goes up to 512 execution units and 1800 MHz. After theorizing, we figured that Intel doesn't really have a choice. If they really want a competitive GPU in 2021, they'll have to just scale up their LP chips up to 512 EUs and fab them in-house as an entry model GPU. It won't be top tier performance, instead it would focus on mid to lower ends. And in the future, when things stabilize, they could join forces with whatever fab they want, whether it's Samsung or TSMC. I just thought that it was funny that Intel used an LP chip and melted it into an HPG rather than taking an LP and HPC and mix them together for HPG. Best of both world type stuff. I mean, isn't that what they called it in some slides? In any case, that video actually had a small section of binary code, which turns out brings you to xe.hpg.com, where basically a whole scavenger hunt starts for this line of GPUs. The hunt starts on March 26th, just 3 days after Pat Gelsinger is supposed to do a webcast. This is a little too much in my opinion. Honestly, I think that Intel's high-rank people were sucking up to Pat Gelsinger saying, "Oh, you're so amazing, Pat. Hundreds of thousands of people are gonna watch the webcast just for you." And then right after that, they bolted to the marketing department and said, "Find a solution. I just promised 100,000 viewers to Pat Gelsinger. Do you know what that means? That's my job and yours on the line." And then the hunt was created. Moving on, we got AMD in the news with a dim gray cavefish. Now, this might sound weird to you if you're not familiar, but AMD, at least for Navi 2X, has been using weird fish names as code names for RDNA 2 chips. There was Sienna Cichlid and Navy Flounder, which were actually Navi 21 and 22, and Dim Gray Cavefish, which is Navi 23. Anyways, so what about Navi 23? Well, leaker Kitty Yuko over on Twitter seemed to have gotten its paws on the specs. Navi 23, or I'll just call it the 6500 XT, will be focused on 1080p gaming, have 32 compute units for 2048 stream processors. It will have 64 megabytes of Infinity Cache and 8 gigabytes of GDDR6 at 16 gigabits per second. It sounds great until you realize that it has a 128-bit bus. Now, grain of salt as always, but this tiny memory bus is probably the reason why, according to Kitty's leaks, the 6500 XT will be faster than the 3060 at 1080p, but worse at 1440p. It would also be released next month in April and would cost 2,500 Chinese yuan, if the leaker is correct, of course. Now, that's the equivalent of about $500 Canadian, or something like 385 US. That's gotta be the MSRP, because you have to add to that, well, the current climate, and I'm predicting it's gonna cost you a good $500+. You think I'm kidding? Look at the retail price of the current 6700 XTs. Sure, there are exceptions, like 1 or 2 cards from Sapphire, XFX, and ASRock, but all non-reference designs from Asus, Gigabyte, MSI, PowerColor, and other brands, I'm sure. I mean, even XFX and Sapphire have some of them, but most of the cards start at $550 with an average in the $700 and up. This is absolute insanity. That's 40+% more money than AMD's suggested retail price. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry to end this on a rant, but that's pretty much it for the catch-up. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Drop a like if you liked it, a comment if you want to talk about today's stories. As usual, you can click right here to see the latest video, right here to subscribe to the channel. Stay frosty, my dudes, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.